his children. Patrice Motsepe and his wife, Precious Motsepe, by establishing the Motsepe League, has followed in the footsteps of two American billionaires, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. You know Bill Gates. You know he's got money. Now Warren Buffett also. Now they have established an organization that they call the Giving Pledge, where they decided that their money is going to go to uplift communities. And they've identified you as part of that process. Now, the second thing I want to tell you, I was at the CAF club licensing workshop. It's still going on. And the club licensing is about how do we establish professional clubs. A club with an identity, a club with a home ground, a club with an infrastructure, a club with a website, a club with Facebook and Twitter and all of those things. Now, we have to make sure that when you go from this league to the first division, that your club has also transgressed or taken a step up. I'm happy that we now have a technical director from the Northwest, and you told us what are your plans. And I want to say congratulations for immediately saying the club must have a women's team. It's very progressive. One of the things that CAF insists on club licensing, that if you want to play in CAF competitions, you must have a women's team. So you're already ahead of CAF, you're ahead of SAFA, you've looked forward to say, this must be part of our club when we want to professionalize football. Not men's football, football. And therefore we have to think of what are the challenges and what are the things that we have to do in order to take the club to the next level. I know that some of you have been here before. I know Mangaung Unite is complaining, but it's not how many times you qualified, but what have you done since the last qualification? You saw the level of the competition, you saw what is required, you go home. What do you do to strengthen your club and to build the club into a truly professional outfit? So, as you sit here, two clubs are going to be in the national first division. And that is one step away from the PSL. All of the teams in the national first divisions come from this league. Even Joe Mosono is now in this league because he wants to go back to first division and then to PSL. You look at the teams in the PSL, how many of them came through? Well, ABC Motsepe teams. They're in the first division and in the Premier League. So, you are 2 steps away from playing in the highest competition in this country, competing with the best teams in this country. And many of you have already defeated PSL teams in the Nedbank Cup, even at the level of Motsepe teams, defeating PSL teams. So you can see that the quality of this competition is very, very high. And if you find that there are gaps in your club structure, in your team, it's time to say, man, I've seen good players in that team, I see a good secretary there. Convince them and build your team, because you're going to be one step away from in the first division and then in the Premier League. So this is a very, very important gathering, because all of you, when we draw the lots and we put out the names, you then have to start thinking, what are the next steps? I must win my matches, I must be on top, I must qualify. And that work starts after this draw, because then you have everything that you need to qualify. So I just want to say congratulations to all of you. This is a very important moment in the history of South African football, where you sit so close to the next two steps in the first division. And look at the teams in that first division and in the PSL. They were PSL teams, they were Motsepe League teams 2 years ago. Northern Cape did not have a professional team. Now they have two teams, Uppington and Lions, Hungry Lions. I think that Uppington is close to relegation, but Hungry Lions has done very well. They were challenging for promotion, and if that happened, Northern Cape would have a team in the PSL again. Something that no one dreamt of. The other option, of course, is that you buy a franchise. You buy a franchise in the first division and in the Premier League. Well, if you have 50 to 100 million, you can do that. Or you can produce good football and win. Those are your two options. I think that we prefer you to go the route to produce good football, to compete, because even if you buy a franchise, you don't have a team. You just have a piece of paper to say, I can now play in the PSL. You must then start building a team. And this is part of the building process of how we get there. So I want to say to you, well done. I've listened to your performance. I think the highest number of games lost was 5. Others lost 2. That gives an indication that there is a plan and a focus. So, Mr. Ngwenya here, who's our head of competitions, they will draw and they will tell us who are you going to play, and I want to wish you all the best and let the best 2 teams emerge, and we will help you to celebrate and make sure that you go to the next level, professional football. This is your last step from professional football. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, friends say you must not come back. Once you go to first division, you must not look back. You must then look to take the next step. And many of the teams have done that. Many have done it, even in the Premier League. So I want to wish you all the best. I want to say to you, we will be there in the Northern Cape to see you perform. And we will sit down with you and tell you, you know, your team was truly the best, or look, you've got a lot of work to do. So we'll see. Last year, we had Motsepe. Motsepe is now in the PSL.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at that, 2 years ago they were in the ABC Motsepe. They got promotion to first division and now they're in PSL. A remarkable story, but that's not the only story. You can go through PSL and you'll find a similar story of what is possible. You have all the options. It is possible. So I want to say to you, don't believe it's impossible. It is possible. Go and produce good football and win. And all the best. Thank you.